𝐂𝐩𝐢𝐴𝐻 Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sohaib Jamal, and in the second video of the series of dashboard, I will teach you how to connect different data by using data models. In fact, when we prepare a software, when we use or design a software, a terminology is being used which is known as relational database management system. What does that mean? Let's suppose if we have a sales data in a separate table, we have a procurement data in a separate area, we have a payable data in separate area, we have accounting data in separate tables. How we can connect those by using relational database management system? In Excel, we were used to prepare a dashboard using pivot table. That was a normal feature available and it is known to everyone. Every person who is working on pivot table knows how to prepare a dashboard. But when we confront a situation where our data is in different tables, then how we can connect them without using any functions or formula? And that relational database management system terminology in Excel is known as data models. This data model is basically more advanced feature of Power Pivot Table. In this, you will find how to create, how to connect different tables with the help of data models, as well as you will have more advanced functions available in this pivot table. In pivot table, we cannot use VLOOKUP, min, max as a function written by us. But with the use of this data model, have we can insert every function in this pivot table. But how we can convert a normal pivot table into a data model? Let's have an example. The best way to learn any topic is to learn through example. In this example, we are selling some product. We have 5 products: pen, pencil, marker, scale, and clip. And all of these product has a unique ID named as head as item ID. We have 3 tables: items, customers, and orders. So I have already explained what item table is. The next table is customer. As you can see, this is your customer ID, which is a unique ID. To create a data model, you must keep in mind that every data must have a unique identifier. For example, if we are using a chart of account, you can take the example of chart of account. You have a unique accounting code for each of the values. Now, in this example, in the customer table, we have customer ID, which is a unique ID. This is your customer name, and these are the zone in which they are buying our product. The third part is orders. This is a table that is showing us that these are the invoice number. For example, this is invoice number 101, and on 28 February 2023, this was the item code, item ID that we have sold. And we have sold this item ID to this customer 111. And how many of the quantity we have sold? 140. So we cannot predict who is this, what is this item ID, and who is this customer ID. In normal circumstances, if I ask you to convert this data into a normal data, what you will do, you will insert a VLOOKUP formula for this column and a VLOOKUP formula for this column as well. Now, if I count these values, which are 300 in number, what does that mean? You have 2 columns and each of the column has 300 values. That means you are going to insert 600 VLOOKUP. That is not required in a data model. You can connect these tables without using any formula. So that is the focus part, how we can merge different columns, how we can merge different tables into a one table. Previously, when you were preparing a pivot table in which you have the name of your item ID and the customer to whom you are selling to, that type of database is known as flat database. And now we are going to learn relational database, which is commonly known as data model in Excel. So let's start. Let's convert this normal Excel ranges into a data table. The first requirement is, before going into the data model, the first and the most important requirement is to convert this name range, to convert this simple Excel range into a table. How we can convert a range into a table? There are three ways. Go to Home, go to Format as Table and select any of the format. Now here, make sure that My Table as Header must be enabled. Click on OK. Now this normal Excel range has been converted into a database table. Now every database table must have a name. By default, it has created the name as table 1. When you will put your cursor out of the table, you will see nothing. When you put your cursor anywhere in the table, you will see a table design tab in front of you. Now here you will change the name of your table to items. But you cannot insert a space, you cannot insert any other character, for example, percentage, dash, underscore, and so on, hashes. But you can insert underscore, and press enter. Go to the customer. The second method to convert our simple Excel range into a table is Control T. This is a shortcut to convert a normal Excel range into a table. Again, make sure that My Table as Header has been enabled. OK. And now change the name to Customer. The third table would be Order. And now the third method of converting an Excel range into a table would be go to Insert, and here you will see a table. Click on Table, and as you can see, when I put my cursor on this, it has shown you the shortcut of converting a name range into a table, that is Control T. So click on this and make sure again My Table as Header. Okay. Now change the name of this table to Orders. Now please remember, you cannot create a data model, or in other words, you cannot create a relationship between these tables without converting these Excel ranges into a table. Basically, table we are referring to are the part of databases. Every database, what is database? Database are the raw information repositories. Databases consist of different tables, for example, item table, customer table, and order table. And then every table has a field. For example, in order table, we have invoice number, date, item ID, customer ID, and quantity. These are named as fields of order table. Now, next step is we will convert, we will relate, we will create a data model among these three different tables. Put your cursor anywhere. Either you can put your cursor in this table, or you can put your cursor anywhere in this table, or you can put your cursor in this table. Now put your cursor anywhere, go to Insert, click on Pivot Table. And here you will see one checkbox which says that add this data to the data model. Because you can only add data tables into a data models. A normal Excel range cannot become a part of a data model. So what you will do, you will enable this option and click on OK. And it will automatically enable an option which is known as a relational database options. Now here you will see a different view of your pivot table. Now this was the table in which you put your cursor and converted and inserted a data model. Now how you will do, where are the other columns? If you click on this all option, you will see all three columns. Customer with these three headings, item with these two headings, and orders with all these headings. Now we will start preparing a dashboard by obviously using a quantity field. Quantity field is part of my order field, order table. Drag this quantity in here and format this by inserting a thousand separator and reducing a decimal to 0. Then the next part is drag item name, not the item ID. As you can see, this item ID is also present in this order table. So it will connect itself automatically when you drag your item name into row. Now here you can see that it has provided you a wrong answer because these two tables has not been connected yet. And it will give you a message that relationship between table may be needed. You can click on auto detect and it will create a relationship between your item and order table. And now as you can see, it has shown you the quantity product wise without using a VLOOKUP formula. Sorry. Now the next step is we will remove item name and insert customer name. Again, the relationship between order table and a customer table has not been created yet. So it will ask you, can we create it by detecting auto detect? Yes, you can do it auto detect. Now the relationship has been created, and if you want to use all of the three tables together, you can drag the name of your item in the column field as well. So what you have done, you have created a dashboard, a very comprehensive, not a simple report now. It is a comprehensive report in which you have connected three tables. Now the next part is how we can make it dynamic, how we can insert advanced function in it. Now for that, I will tell you about DAX, data analytic expressions. These are the functions which are advanced in nature. For example, you can use VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, everything you can use here. But I will teach you few of the advanced formula that will convert this normal report into a very comprehensive dashboard. What we will do, click on order, right click on order, go to add measures. Now these measures are basically the calculations. For example, if this is the total of grand total, that means if we name this cell, it becomes a measurement name. So anyway, in here I will create my own quantity, which is necessary because measurement, there are few DAX functions that only use measurements. So we already have quantity column, but I am creating my own quantity column so that I can use my quantity in different DAX function. How we will do it? Obviously, I'm going to sum the quantity column of the order table, click on it, check DAX function, and it will show you the message, this formula has no error. Now what we will do, we will remove the item name and then we will drag that my quantity, instead of sum of quantity, I will drag my quantity. These are the same value that was shown in the quantity field, as you can see. So I have removed this sum of quantity, which is not necessary. Now the second option is, I want to know what was the first date on which I have sold any of my item to all these customers. What was the first date? So what we will do, click on orders, add a measure and first date. I have created a measure first date, and to differentiate my own measurement, I always use my first date. My first date, and the DAX function that we will use would be first date. And first date would be under the table of order. As you can see, there are three tables, order, item and customer, and dates are available in my order table. Select this, press enter, bracket close, check this DAX function and click OK. Now under the head, under the table orders, you will see another calculation, which is again a measurement. FX means measurement. Drag this measurement into the value box, and here you have to change the format of this date. Go to right click on it, go to value field setting and change the number format to this date. We will use a date that is short in a format. So what does that mean? We have used a very advanced formula, my first date. That shows that we have sold any of our product to Mr. Ghaffar Memon. That was the first date. And as we can see, these are the different dates that we sold our items to each of the customer. Now can we calculate the last date as well? Say yes, we The method would be the same. My last date. My last date. The formula would be the last date and the date would be available in order column. Bracket close. Check your DAX function and click OK. Now we have created the third measurement. Drag this third measurement. These are the last dates on which we have sold any of the item to each of our customers. Right click on it, go to value field setting and change the format of your data to date, and this would be the format. So now as you can see that these were the first date and these were the last date. Now can we find out the interval between these two dates? Yes, there is another formula, DAX function, that is available, which is known as date difference. Now we will name this measurement as interval and the formula that we will use would be date difference. Bracket open. The format of date difference would be date 1, date 2, comma interval. Date 1 would be my first date. That is the same measurement that I've created previously. My first date. That means that this date difference formula cannot pick the column name, the heading. Instead of that, it requires a measurement. And we have created a measurement, my first date, comma, my last date, comma, and the interval that I require between these two dates is week. Bracket close, check my DAX function, click on OK, and here we will see the interval function as well. As you can see, it has shown us that between these two dates, this was the interval of first date and last date. Now make it dynamic. If we insert name of my items with the customer, look what it will show you. Change the design to show in tabular form, and then we can use this data with a dashboard. We can have converted a simple 3 tables into a simple, in fact a very dynamic dashboard. And here we can use, go to analyze slicer of zone, in fact, which was in customer column. We can drill down our data by using this zone as well. Now we are going to convert this connected table into a dashboard. As you have seen that we have created 4 measurements. The first measurement was my quantity. The second measurement was my date, in which we have calculated the first date of the sale that we have made to any of our customer. This was the last date that we have made any sale to any of our customer, and between these two dates, this was the interval which we have shown as weeks. So these are the name. What next we have done is we have dragged the name of item into this. Before that, this was the data. So what we have done, we have dragged item name below the customer name. As you can see, if we want to enhance this reporting, go to design, go to subtotal, and at the bottom of the value. So what it has shown you, that for this customer, we have sold these number of quantities of these products, and these were the first date and last date, and among those 2 dates, these were the intervals. And for this customer, in a total, these are the total quantity, grand total sold to that customer. 23rd January was the minimum date on which we have sold any product to this customer. I think this was pen, and the last date overall. So 133 days, weeks interval is being shown in this 2 column. Now lastly, we will convert this. We will use 2 of the available feature in this. Go to analyze, insert a slicer of zone. Zone slicer is available in customer table. Click on it and we can slice this dashboard zone wise. Select this, change this to 4 columns which seems like it is a single line. Now if we click on east, it will filter down the data, drill down the data for east zone as only. North, south, west. Now what else we can add in this dashboard, which has become a very dynamic dashboard? Go to Analyze and insert a timeliner. And for the timeliner can only be used for date format only. So click on date under the head order table, click on OK. And here you want to show your data into year. So we have 3 years data, and now this is a dynamic dashboard. This is 2021 data. In 2021 in North we have sold these items to each of these customer with the first date and the last date and interval between the first and the last date. So we have created a very dynamic dashboard, and in this clip what you have learned how to convert a normal name ranges into our data models, and the measurement concept, what are measurements, and the DAX, which are advanced Excel function. These two things, DAX and measurement, these two words are also part of your Power BI desktop application. But if you learn these DAX within this Excel, you will become a powerful user in your Power BI dashboard as well. So this is a dashboard that we have created from 3 tables: item, customer, and order. We have connected these 3 tables with the help of data model, and in this video we have learned 2 new things, that were measurement and the DAX function. Thank you, class.